am Maggie Love, and this is the I Am Maggie Love channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, I really enjoyed that last video, and I got cut off due to an alarm, so I want to keep going because I'm just feeling it. So please, when you do get a chance, we are pushing towards that goal of 1,000 subscribers, that 4,000 hours, and then we'll move on to our next goal. But please hit subscribe, like, and leave your positive comments. And also, I would love to hear what you're working on, what you're doing, and how any of this has been helpful to you in your journey and your path. So thank you for joining me. But I want to get back to this. We are in chapter 12, developing the power of the nervous system. Okay, so I'm not, as you can tell, the highest tech, but I got cut off by an alarm, so here we go. So this is where we were at. I was talking about how you can, I'll just read it to you again. The accompanying symptom of every form of anxiety is fixated, tightly drawn will, the inability to relax, being on the watch and ever prepared to meet an unknown constant danger. We talked flight or fright, right? Or falling ill, which exiles a person into a petrified, unchangeable past or the unknown future, hidden, frightening possibilities from the present, where the grand pansiana of illness is awaiting. So I was saying last, we have seen people who are petrified and locked in positions in their bodies. And you can tell that fear is trapped in there, stress is trapped in there, anger is trapped in there. And this is not a criticism, wherever you are on the spectrum, but like for us to like transform things, we have to like look at ourselves and look at the shadow and look at these things and address them. And I just want to say, you know, like we want to free your body. We want to release those areas that are frozen, that are sick, that are, you know, whatever, the weight challenges, up or down, whatever it is, we want to release you. So also in like the last clincher, she says, and awaiting, you know, with this type of harsh, structured, unable to relax and stressed, at the end of his illness is awaiting. And then, you know, that person even has a more dreary outlook, and that is not going to be us. We are going to address what we need to do to get to where we need to get. We may not know like all the answers, but that's the journey. That's the hero's journey. You're going to hit the wall, and the idea is that you're going to get up, move around the wall, climb over the wall, go under the wall, whatever you need to do with the wall. You're going to use your powers to dissolve the wall, etc., etc. You can do it. You matter. You are worth it. You're worthy. Just keep working this with me. So whoever can step into the present, so step into the present, and remain present in total oblivious intensity in some neutral, peaceful motion resonant with symbolic beauty, receives a flood of tremendous healing currents. So what is she saying? Here's another tool. Get in your body. Most of us, a lot of us are not in our bodies. Stress, anxiety, fear, all these things. We need to spend that time alone. We need to spend the time in the silence. We need to meditate. We need to journal. We need to eat healthy, you know, self-care. So she's saying, be present, remain present in total oblivious intensity, in some neutral, peaceful motion resonant with symbolic beauty, because that when you get into a peaceful environment, symbolic beauty, you will receive a flood of tremendous healing currents. And we all know that to be true. If you like the beach, you go to spend time at the beach. When you leave the beach, you feel like a new person. You like the forest, you go out to the forest, you hike, what have you. You leave that place and you feel like a new person. You do your meditation, even if you're kicking and screaming and putting yourself into there, when you come out of it, you feel better for it. You feel healed. So we got to keep doing these things. The first, and also it's very important because a lot of us disassociate from our bodies, but we came here to be in our bodies full out. When somebody's fully present in their body, like something that's coming to mind right now, Sadhguru, you'll feel them. Like when somebody's really present in their body, they're not moving them, and like you can move them, there's a flow, but you can feel the presence, and it's a peaceful, symbolic beauty, right? The first phase of healing is becoming aware of a fixated attitude. Okay, so here's another tip: relaxing it and then exchanging it with an appropriate posture that makes floating pleasantly and neutrally anchored in the present possible. So we talked about being in that tightly constricted, unchangeable past to, okay, what are we going to do? We are going to become aware of that fixated attitude. We are going to relax it. And then we're going to change it into appropriate postures that make floating pleasantly and neutrally anchored in the present possible, like hula and dance of all sorts. And in this, it is in this present, relaxed, and open towards fresh resources of life that we must attend to those astro-mental energy inhalations that will quench our transcendent thirst, ethical hunger, and aesthetic yearning. Oh, that's so beautiful. Let's read that again. And it is in this present, relaxed, and open towards fresh sources of life that we must attend to those astro-mental energy inhalations that will quench our transcendent thirst, ethical hunger, and aesthetic yearning. So do not give up. If you're having a hard time, just keep going. The answers will come. Your time will come. The crossroads, the intersection for the upgrade will come. Just keep doing your practices and be open to, like she said, being aware of the fixated attitude, relaxing it, and then exchanging it for the flow of the universe. So let us take a light color, sound, and form bath in nature, as well as in the masterpieces of fine art. So let us take a light, color, sound, and form bath in nature. So these are all things, right? Light, blue, purple, yellow, make you feel colors, sounds, form bath in nature, right? Taking a dunk in the beach, taking a dunk in the lake, as well as in the masterpieces of fine art. So you look at art, you look at Brian Scott's art, and it just transforms you. You look at Van Gogh, Starry Night, it transforms you. Okay, let us saturate our soul with music, poetry, philosophy, science. More tips. Music, poetry, philosophy, science. Now, remember, too, we are constantly expanding and growing. So if these things become absolute control lists, they're not in alignment. You know, because science is always evolving. Philosophy is always evolving. Poetry is always beautiful. And music is to the ear of the beholder. Let us weave further the thoughts that resonate within us. If our circumstances surround our bodies with a short circuit, let us open our eyes to the fact that a winged being lives inside of us who is only held captive by the suggestions of what we believe. So we are a winged being in here that's wanting to fly. Let it fly. When we remember our wings, we soar, just as the psychic body does in our dreams. Guys, you have wings and you can soar to new heights. Don't give up. Let us therefore use our soaring imagination. No one can take this away from us. The imagination is our Christ consciousness. If you don't know, jump into Neville Goddard's work. Brian Scott has that on there. Josiah Bryant, and just there's tons of Neville Goddard stuff online. But he just helps you to really step into using your imagination. Elmer Olacher too. No one can take this away from us. Let us use it in a constructive direction, because wherever demons chase it, it can only return home with troubles, painful bindings, and restlessness always. So we want to use, basically what she's saying is we want to use our imaginations in constructive ways, not destructive ways, okay? Because destructive ways are like demonic ways, right? That will bring troubles, painful bindings, and restlessness. Merely remembering our favorite foods produces actual digestive acids in the physical body. Erotic readings or images similarly eroticize more ardently. We know that one. But how little we make use of this facility in a constructive direction. So again, that constructive direction, using your thought forms, making like Renee Renee Garcia, reality transurfing just keeps hitting you with the script. Get your mind where it needs to be. Brian Scott keeps hitting you with, your thoughts, You are manifesting. Watch what you speak. It will manifest immediately. Brian Scott has an artwork that he has with an affirmation that basically the spoken word, it will manifest quicker. So that kind of makes you like, not in a bad way, but you pause and you go, whoa, stop, wait a minute, let's put a little groove in it. You think, oh my goodness, I know this is true. So I'm going to watch what I speak. I'm going to watch my ear gates. I'm going to watch my eye gates. I'm going to watch my mouth gate. I'm going to watch my mind gate. I'm going to watch my heart gate, etc. Because you're powerful creators, and the higher vibration you get, the quicker your manifestation comes in. So you want to make sure your manifestations are, like she says, in a constructive direction. Why is it that we do not return in our imagination to the milieu of experiences in our mystical forests? Why don't we think of fired up imagination about trees rich in the ozone? Okay, so let's do that. Everybody spend some time thinking about the trees rich in the ozone, A fairy stream flowing with the source of health and the enchantment of silence in some landscape we have experienced for a fleeting moment. Fairies are real. They exist. And if you are dialed in, you will see them, you will experience them, and they are amazing. So we want to see, again, let's imagine the fairy streaming flowing with the source of health or the enchantment of silence in some landscape we have experienced for a fleeting moment. For instance, the volcano on the Big Island, Kilauea with Pele. Why do we allow those enriching works of art and experiences to lie covered with dust in our warehouses of our consciousness? So we're constantly pulling things up. If you catch yourself pulling up bad stuff, cancel that, pull up a good one. Let that be your little cue. Bing, bing, bing. No negativity, pull up a positive one and then play that over and over. And also imagine constructively other positive scenes. Those great works we have gathered, which, touched by our imagination, would resurrect to a new immaculate life, radiating healing powers with their tangible actuality. So guys, these positive, constructive imaginations create our lives and the universe around us. So let's use the power of our Christ consciousness to resurrect this new immaculate life, radiating healing powers with their tangible actuality. There is like research that when groups of people meditate in cities high in crime, the crime like drops significantly, if not disappears. When you are holding a resonance of this field and that critical mass shifts, it affects everything. Like ask a nurse or a doctor who works in an ER on a full moon. Crazy stuff comes in. Like it's incredible. The moon affects things. So we want to think, there are supernatural things at influencing us. So we want to be radiating these healing powers. Trees emitting fragrances, springs invigorate. Quiet calms, lofty thoughts comfort. Music compels us to fresh creative activity, and the giants of intellect fill us with hope. Again, I would like to encourage you to, if you are struggling and needing help with that reprogramming, hit up Brian Scott's Reality Revolution, hit up Renee Garcia's Reality Transurfing. There's also, Brian Scott uses Metaverse's music. His music is wonderful. And I find it as a great time to quiet my soul, but I also find it a great time to run my scripts. So my positive scripts where I'm using my imagination in a positive way. So just please look that up. Metaverse, Mettaverse. Just check it out. So, let us instill into our lives such being in the present exercises, relaxing, stiff, defensive behavior, and in this repose, releasing our personality of all its complicated problems. Because is it really even us? Sometimes if we have abuse, trauma, different things. Sometimes we're trying to conform so much to things, or we're asleep. The personality isn't even really us. So we're on this journey to find out who we are. This unique person that the universe wants to bring to the world, to help the world and to help ourselves. And, okay. So let us take freedom in being in the present, as if we were progressing between two frontiers, the two fortresses of past and future. Ding, 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 ding. And in no man's land, without burdens, whilsting merrily, nameless as homeless wanderers, and doing this regularly, consciously, even if it is only a few minutes daily, our invisible inner patient, who crisis burden our organism with dormant nerve fever, will slowly begin to mend, and we shall experience the joy of healing in the form of increased activity and shining equilibrium. Oh, I love it. So she has given several suggestions here. Trees emit fragrances, so smell trees. Springs invigorate. Quiet calms. Lofty thoughts comfort. Music compels. Please dig into these things. I am praying for you all to have the joy of healing. And I just hope that you are all we just closed out chapter 12. I hope you are all seeing that you are